Hello guys, this is Lagan. As setting an introduction, I will be discussing the roles that social media has on digital literacy. I would like to start off by talking about the effects social media has on sexual violence movements. Today, social media plays such a huge role in our society and culture. It's becoming an everyday use for many to connect with friends, for entertainment use, to stay up to date with news, and so much more. When it comes to social media, it's not bad for society because the power of social media is vital in giving voices to those who can't speak. Ever since the movement started, you've had victims of sexual assault and harassment speak out about and share their truth through Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and other media platforms. In this clip, I would like to talk about how sexual violence movements have been impacted by social media today. Many movements have become stronger and more talked about due to the amount of news they've received and the amount of retweets and pictures posted. EdTech writer Jacqueline Whiting said, "All learning happens through reflection and revision. And when it comes to sexual violence movements, it allows those victims to step forward and speak out and let their attackers be known, but also trying to promote that sexual violence and harassment of any kind is not okay." Christian Zels, a writer from Social Media Headquarters, said, "Social media became an easy way for others to express solidarity with victims, as well as tell these women and men how powerful they are to have overcome their situations." Once these movements took off, not only did it show how when people come together, a problem can be fixed, but it also showed how positive social media can be when promoting a message that needs to be heard. Now, these movements aren't all good. They do have their bad sides, and for this, I would say it's probably cyberbullying and backlash combined. These victims just want to tell their stories and express their feelings and thoughts. And some individuals who decide to tell their stories through social media, they do receive backlash and bullying at some point. Now, with the internet being a globally used tool, some never know who these people are. I would like to introduce Tarana Burke, founder of the Me Too movement. Once again, social media is such a huge platform that everything that goes through it isn't always good. The purpose of this movement was to not name drop nor shame powerful men. It was clearly just a way for their voices to be heard and to no longer feel the guilt anymore.
Right now, the conversation is mired in misconceptions. Folks think that this is about naming and shaming. They think it's about taking down powerful men. But they're wrong. Even the women who came forward around Harvey Weinstein didn't ask for what happened to him. They didn't even think it was possible. They were simply trying to be heard and trying to be seen and believed. That's all most survivors want, to not be the only one holding on to their truth. And finally, we have a language that provides some space for that. With 2 words, folks who have been wearing the fear and shame that sexual violence leaves you with, like a scarlet letter, are able to come out into the sunlight and see that we are a global community.
Not only did the Me Too movement have an impact on social media, but as well as the Time's Up movement, which rise from the abuse of power in the celebrity world, as well as just the world we live in today. Brown said, "These movements became a rallying cry for millions of women and men who are fed up with the blatant abuse of power." There have been numerous sexual violence movements, but specifically, I would like to speak on the Me Too movement. The movement became so powerful that even actress Alyssa Milano had went on there and spoke her truth. She had encouraged millions of women who had been sexually harassed or assaulted of any kind to go on social media and use their voice and share their stories. Within a 24-hour period, over 4.7 million people worldwide had shared, commented, retweeted, and posted anything #MeToo related. This just shows you how powerful social media can be when everyone comes together and speaks their mind on issues that need to be fixed. This movement created a global conversation that needed to be had, but it has also given those individuals who were once afraid to speak their truth now feel power enough to speak up and tell their story and help others. Now, with those speaking up, those victims who were once silenced, they were just afraid of what others might think of them, so they never decided to speak their truth. But now with this movement happening and millions of Americans speaking up, they now feel the courage to speak their truth now. Overall, these movements have taken over numerous media outlets and social media platforms, with the hashtags being retweeted and pictures posted, people commenting on the change that needs to come. The impact social media has had on sexual violence is that it has allowed a conversation to be had through multiple sources and has helped many survivors tell their stories. The Me Too movement, as well as many others, have become a timeless message that transcends cultures and nations. Thank you.